In late May and early June of 2008, Iowa and other Midwestern states were hit with a continuous sequence of storms. This 2 weeks of almost steady rain dumped over 16 inches of precipitation. The 100-year and 500-year flood levels were exceeded in many parts of the state. Areas that many people assumed to be safe were suddenly underwater. The example given to us was to imagine standing in your living room with your arms outstretched. Now imagine everything below your arms soaking for days in muddy river water mixed with sewage. Many organizations, including Mission North America, responded to the needs of the people in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City. Though long after the initial cleanup, our group is part of that continuing outreach.
Hebrews 13:16, and do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased.
Isaiah 6:8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and whom will go for us? Then I said, Here I am, send me.
Romans 10:14. How then can they call on the one they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can they preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news.
1 Timothy 4:2. Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity.
The book version of how to plant a church is gather 100 people, because you got to have a lot of momentum, and you get 100 people and you get a launch team together, and the launch team kind of figures out what worship is going to look like. And then the Lord dropped this new ministry in our lap called Flood Relief, and we just had to figure out how to do it. And so the blessing of it, though, has been that, for a small church plant that has really no one in the community knows who we are, no one knows who the PCA is, no one's ever heard of One Ancient Hope because we're not really even a church yet. And yet, we're bringing team after team, week after week, into the community, living out the gospel in Iowa City and Cedar Rapids, and rebuilding homes for people.
Micah 6:8. He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
1 Peter 2:12. Live such good lives among the pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God in the day that He visits us.
Luke 3:5 and 6. Every valley and ravine shall be filled up, and every mountain and hill shall be leveled, and the crooked places shall be made straight, and the rough roads shall be made smooth. And all mankind shall see and understand, and at last acknowledge the salvation of God.
Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. Philippians 2:3 and 4.
Joshua 22 verse 5. To love the Lord your God, to walk in all His ways, to obey His commands, to hold fast to Him, and to serve Him with all your heart and all your soul.